This episode of What's Your Favorite Movie is brought to you by the Jelly of the Month Club. Each month, a different selection of jams and jellies shipped right to your door. Flavors include kumquat, gooseberry, dragon fruit, and classic grape. A 1-year membership in the Jelly of the Month Club makes a perfect gift. After all, it is the gift that keeps giving the whole year through. And welcome to What's Your Favorite Movie? Everyone's favorite Merry Movie Christmas podcast. And I messed that up, but that's okay. My name is Ed South, and thanks for joining us. Thanks for taking time out of your busy day of doing your thing, Christmas shopping and watching Christmas movies to hang out with us here at What's Your Favorite Movie. My name is Ed South. Did I already say that?
You did already.
I did. And your name is Diana, and I have not said that yet.
Not yet.
Diana, thanks for joining us again on What's Your Favorite Movie.
Thank you again for having me.
And may I be the first to wish you a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you.
Oh, thank you. Right back at you.
And folks, we would love to have you follow us on Twitter at WYF Movie Podcast. FaveMoviePodcast at yahoo.com is our email address if you would like to send us an email and wish us holiday greetings or tell us to get lost. And you can find us on Facebook. Just search for What's Your Favorite Movie and you will find it. When last we met here on What's Your Favorite Movie, Diana, we were talking about a bizarre obsession that I created with Melanie Griffith and apple strudel.
Yeah.
And in the time that has elapsed since that last episode, we have indeed figured out that the movie that she screams about apple strudel is Shining Through from 1993, where she plays a secretary who wants to be a spy, is what we gathered from what we figured out. So I worked at Blockbuster, and you had to play the loop of like the same 10 commercials over and over again, and this scene was on it, and it got ingrained in my head. And as soon as I heard it, I was like, apparently apple strudel plays a big part in the movie, or plays some part in the movie. But when I heard the actual piece, I was like, that's the one. That's the one right there. And Melanie Griffith, deadpan. She's not even like acting. She looks like she's reading off cue cards in it.
Right.
And and then she's like yelling at Michael Douglas,
who's completely stony-faced, who has like zero reaction at all.
They probably weren't even filmed together.
No,
they were
probably
like
not.
filmed completely separately. He was on a apple strudel vendor or whatever. And on nights when they didn't have people over, I could bring tea and strudel up to the dresser's study and put a little schnapps in the tea. And then it was unaudible, whatever else she said, but there it is. That was that. Whatever.
I'm so glad we solved that mystery.
It was the biggest mystery in podcasts since Serial. Will Ed find out why Melanie Griffith was yelling about apple strudel? We're going to talk about some Christmas stuff today here on the program. One of the movies that has been discussed the most when this show actually adhered to its format and had people tell us their 5 favorite movies. I think the number one movie mentioned multiple times was A Christmas Story from 1982 or 3. I don't even remember what year, 2 or 3. And several people had it on their list. And I went through and compiled, if you want to go back and listen to some of that and hear about A Christmas Story, it appears on this program, on this podcast. Episode 26, Joey Carwash talks about it because he visited the house, the Christmas Story house in Ohio, wherever it is in Ohio. In episode 11, my good friend Laura tells us about a family tradition that they have involving the movie and the certain leg lamp. And my friend Matt was on episode 13, and he told us about seeing it in the theater when he was a little kid. But Diana, you saw it in the theater?
I did. Yep. We went as a family to see it.
How did that happen?
I mean, that was something that we did occasionally. Was
to the movies.
go to movies as a family, and we saw it in the theater, and I mean, we all really enjoyed it, at the time, and for years, and in fact, still, make jokes about, Chinese food for Christmas.
There you go, and all that good stuff. Now that you say that, I don't think the 4 of us, my mother and father and my brother and I, ever went to a movie together. The 4 of us together. I really honestly can't remember a single time that happened.
Well, that's probably because you're Dad's a jackass. So
Well,
just
maybe.
saying. Just saying.
He wasn't always a complete, I don't know, it just never all went. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway. And also, if you're really into Christmas Story, you want to listen to episode 17, where I interviewed author Joanna Wilson about her book, The Triple Dog Dare, where she not only watched the entire 24-hour marathon of A Christmas Story, but she writes about that, and also not only our fascination with that movie, but Christmas movies in general, and how A Christmas Story has become part of our Christmas traditions and holidays, since people often have it on in the background, since it's on 24 hours a day on Christmas Day. So it's kind of become a little bit of a holiday tradition. It already has been. So yeah, check out episode 17 to find Joanna Wilson. And if you want to find out more and order her books, you can go to 1701press.com to get The Triple Dog Dare. I read it, and I thought it was really fascinating and super good. So there's that.
There you go.
Diane, are you ready for another installment of Let's Enjoy a Beverage?
Oh, I can't wait.
Now, usually we've sampled either a wacky, crazy soda or some weird, bizarre beer that I found. This time we're going to tie it into A Christmas Story, folks. So what are we going to sample? Some 100-year-old Ovaltine. Not an actual jar that's been sitting around for Ovaltine, but what year do you think Ovaltine was founded in or started, Diana?
I'm guessing around 100 years ago.
In 1904? So what's that, 112 years ago? Something like that? I can't do math that quick. Don't ask me to do math that quick. So yeah, Ovaltine started in 1904, and of course, not a big part of A Christmas Story, but a significant role it plays in A Christmas Story. What's the scenario? Little Ralphie has sent away his Ovaltine box tops or whatnot for
whatever his
little orphan Annie decoder ring, right?
Right.
And I did some research. Ovaltine actually did sponsor the radio program Little Orphan Annie from 1931 to 1940.
Yep.
So look at that. And it also sponsored a show called Captain Midnight from 1939 to 1938 to 49. So that's something, right? Now, we were discussing in the old days, you would have made Ralphie had his Ovaltine with whole milk, right? Probably whole unpasteurized,
well, I don't know
straight
about that,
from
but
the cow milk.
probably not.
They
But
had a cow in the backyard, didn't they?
I don't think so. But did they?
No, I don't think so. That wasn't in the movie if they did. But anyway, so I've got like a little, this looks like Breaking Bad here. I got quite the little lab going on with my spoons and milk. Do you use milk to make heroin? I don't know. Or whatever you made in Breaking Bad.
Only if it's blue.
So we're going to whip up some Ovaltine with skim milk, because that's what we have in this house. But the jar actually says to use skim milk, so
It would.
it would, right? Because Michelle Obama made them do that. So we're gonna pour, and I'm not gonna. Is milk gonna pour well on? Oh yeah, that's not bad. Does that look like 8 ounces? Who knows?
Yeah, that's about right.
And let's get yours. And we're pouring them into glasses, not plastic cups, so we get excellent sound reverbifications for the home audience. And then we're gonna open up the this big giant tub that'll probably sit around my house for years.
I was gonna say, you are never going to break into that jar after today.
So it's 2 tablespoons. So there's 2 tablespoons of this. The jar it's a powder, so it's a powdery substance that you mix into milk, like powdered chocolate milk or whatever. But it's malted. This is the classic malt flavor. They actually have 3 flavors now. I don't know what the other 2 are, but I'm sure they're delicious. You can stir it. So we got that.
I didn't want to, jump ahead.
Jump ahead?
Yeah.
So you have to stir it in your glass, which you would chocolate milk. Now I can see that this is not dark enough for me.
It's pretty light.
I want more powder. I'm not going by the... I guess you put a lot of powder. You want more powder?
Sure.
Let's powder it up! Let's be as disgusting as possible. So... I like malts. I like a good malt.
I know you do. You used to come in and order malts when I worked at the yogurt shop.
Oh, yeah. And
You were the only person who did, by the way.
Ordered a banana malt once.
You got the orange malt that one time.
It's disgusting.
It was disgusting.
20-year-old me would drink an orange malt, but not a 40-year-old me.
Yeah.
So go ahead and take a sip of Ralphie's Ovaltine. That's not bad.
It's like
ice cream.
It's like Whopper flavored water.
Which would be a great name for a product, Whopper Water. That's pretty good. I would listen to a radio show and drink that. It's a little old-fashioned-y tasting. It's a little weird.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of the malt.
Especially in grocery store form. It's a good source of 12 vitamins and minerals. No artificial flavors or sweeteners. Ovaltine was originally advertised as consisting solely of malt, milk, eggs, and flavored with cocoa. Let me drink some chocolate eggs. And did you know, Diana, in Brazil, McDonald's is home of the Ovaltine milkshake?
Yum.
Delicious with a Big Mac. A good old Ovaltine milkshake. So, folks, go out to your local grocer. In the cereal aisle, usually, is where you'll find the Ovaltine.
Yeah, curiously enough, it was and still kind of is marketed as like a healthy breakfasty thing, which I don't really get, but...
It's pure chocolate. It's just chocolate.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Interesting. So that's... I was looking at the ingredients, and yes, maltodextrin malt extract, milk caramel, and beet juice. Do you taste that beet juice, Diana?
The beet juice is delicious.
The beet goes on. That is, let's enjoy a beverage, an increasingly less entertaining segment on what's your favorite movie. So, we're not going to talk about like some Christmas movie that you never seen and try to talk you into watching it or remind you how phenomenal Ernest Saves Christmas is, or... What other Christmas movies? What's your favorite Christmas movie? Which we probably covered last year. At
right.
Christmas, but...
Yes, last year I think we established that, Mickey's Christmas Carol is...
This is good.
It's all right. It's all right.
This Ovaltine tastes more like ice cream than the Neapolitan beer that we had a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
A few weeks. Remember that?
Yep.
A couple weeks ago?
Yep.
We had
Yep.
that? So, most of the people that listen to this program are in the Baltimore area, as my statistics show. Most of the downloads come from the Baltimore and vicinity area, which is where we're kind of coming from, the Baltimore area. Diana, you live in Baltimore.
I do indeed.
What's it like? So I put together a big old list of holiday movies that are screening in theaters in the area. If you would like to go out of your house and watch a movie on a big screen, this is a place you can do it. A movie that's going to be on TV, but you can pay $8 or $9 and sit in a theater and watch it with other people.
Or 10 or 12.
Or more, right, as the case may be.
Yep.
One of the big ones, and take notes, folks, and we'll post some links on Twitter and whatever else for some of these, but one of the big ones that happens every year is the wonderful movie, It's a Wonderful Life. We like that movie.
We like that movie.
Saturday, December 23rd, it will be showing at the Senator Theater in Baltimore. This is an annual event they do. I feel like it's later in the month this year. December 23rd is right on top of Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah, it used to be like, right at the
first
beginning.
week
Yeah, right at the beginning of December.
So this is the Saturday before Christmas, the day before Christmas Eve. It won't be crowded out driving around, so hey, why not? And it's at 10 a.m. in the morning, and what they do is you can bring $5 worth of non-perishable food items, and you can get in for free and watch it on Maryland's largest indoor screen. Doors open at 9 a.m., so that's Saturday, December 23rd. We saw it. Now, did we see it together there once, or we ran into each other there once, or both? Both. All right.
Yes.
So let's set the record straight.
Yes.
So we went and saw it once, and then years later, we bumped
into each other. And since then, I think I've been a couple more times.
Oh, excuse us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, for a while there, it was kind of dicey, well, if the Senator was even going to continue operating, and then when they did sort of reopen, it didn't seem like they were doing the It's a Wonderful Life anymore, and,
Sad.
But yeah, it's back on now every year.
And they used to, at least when I went, they used to always show a Tom and Jerry cartoon with it, a Christmas Tom and Jerry cartoon.
I can't remember the last time I was there. It was a couple years ago now. I can't remember if there was... I feel like there was a cartoon. I don't know if it was that same old Tom and Jerry or not.
No, it's fresh Tom and Jerry.
Maybe it's some of that Czech Tom and Jerry. Love those, huh?
Folks, real quick. There's a group of Tom and Jerry cartoons that were made in the Czech Republic by
Yes.
some foreign animator.
Correct.
And they are absolutely petrifying.
They're terrifying,
And they chill me to my bone, and I will have nightmares if I see one. And seriously, I taped like an hour of Tom and Jerry off the TV for my daughter, and we were watching them, and one of those came up. I was like, nope, we're skipping right through this nightmare fest. I would more soon likely watch it than watch one of those Tom and Jerry cartoons. But anyway. And It's a Wonderful Life is a fun movie to see on the big screen, especially at the Senator. It's a huge screen. I think I'm going to just stay home and watch it this year. It's also a good snuggle up movie. It's a nice, comfy movie. And I would say that's one of the few movies in my rotation of films that I watch that I identify with. Like, I get the characters, right. And I kind of, I don't really identify with anyone in Mannequin or Flipper or whatever, but It's a Wonderful Life. It gives me the feels.
Yeah.
It gives me the feels right there. Another theater in Baltimore, the Cinebistro, which I knew as the Rotunda, but I didn't even know it wasn't called the Rotunda anymore. It's called the Cinebistro. See what they did, Diana, was take cinema and bistro and put them together.
Oh.
So apparently you can eat dinner there and watch a movie at the same time, which I don't know about that. So we'll have to find out. But anyway, they are showing White Christmas on Wednesday, December 6th. And the following week, on Wednesday, the 13th, they're showing It's a Wonderful Life. And those are $7 a piece to get in. Because it's like their bargain Wednesday or something. Oh, so it costs more if you want to eat dinner, I assume. And the Cinebistro is 21 and over. So can't bring the kids to those two G-rated films. But that is something. Why is it 21 and over? So you just have a quiet... Kids are not even the problem anymore. It's... 21-year-olds are the ones that talk in movies.
They serve alcohol.
Okay, I gotcha. So you can get snookered and watch White Christmas. The Rotunda used to be like an art house cinema. That was the only place in town showing a certain movie or whatever. And I haven't been there in forever, but I remember when somebody would walk into the theater, the light from the lobby would completely drown out the screen temporarily. So that's it. Going to a drive-in at Christmas? What? That's crazy. But the Benji's Drive-In, also in Baltimore, is going to be having a special holiday double feature this year. It's going to be in early December. They don't have a date yet, and they don't know what movies are going to be playing yet. So that should be interesting. But I just wanted to bring that up.
I'm looking forward to it.
Check out their web. I mean, I hope they're Christmas movies. That'd be, fun to see some Christmas movies at the drive-in. If they're just going to show like Cars 3 and whatever, Valkyrie or something like that. Is that even a movie?
Yes.
Okay. But if you like drive-ins, if you like Christmas, if you like all that together, pop open some eggnog and watch a special holiday double feature at the Benji's Drive-In in early December. Check their website for more information. Have you ever been, you have been, to the Weinberg Center for the Arts in Frederick, Maryland?
Yep.
We've been there.
Yep.
They are going to have 4 films of note starting on November 29th, which may or may not be passed, depending on when this podcast goes up. They're showing Edward Scissorhands, which I believe is Christmas adjacent.
I would call it, yeah.
Has many Christmas elements to it. So I feel like this year, especially, I feel like every year they're doing this, but they're really trying to cultivate what is a Christmas film and build that up. I guess everyone's tired of just seeing It's a Wonderful Life and White Christmas and Christmas Vacation over and over again on the big screen. So they're really trying to open it up as to what is a Christmas movie. I haven't seen Edward Scissorhands probably since high school, so I don't remember much about anything except there was this guy who had like scissor hands. I remember that.
Oh, yeah.
And Vincent Price's last role.
Yes.
And Winona Ryder's in it?
Yep.
Okay.
With blonde hair.
And he chops it off. 11/29, 7:30 p.m. Edward Scissorhands. December 1st, they're doing It's a Wonderful Life. And then on December 27th, they're showing Trading Places, which I feel all of a sudden has become a Christmas movie. I was not aware that it had any Christmas elements until this year. And I watched it the other night.
Right.
And I feel like if I had seen that when I was younger, I would have liked it. But seeing it for the first time in 2017, it felt very dated in uncomfortable ways. A little tingy racist.
Doesn't really hold up well.
And I'm not a huge fan of Eddie Murphy just screaming, "Hey man, look at me!" for all the time. So, But if you grew up with it, maybe it's your jam. And then on January 6th at 2:00, they're having their annual Cartoon Fest, which is the biggest grab bag of is that going to be watchable or not. We went to this, Diane and I went to this many, many years ago. We took my kids, and we were weren't we expecting like Woody Woodpecker?
I think we were expecting Woody Woodpecker, possibly some Looney Tunes.
Right.
And instead we got just a bunch of
random old cartoons, like 20s and 30s, and some of them weren't even in sound or in sound. Whatever. But hey, who knows? They said they're gonna, on their website, it says they're gonna say what the cartoons are as it gets closer, and it's all a salute to a certain director. So who knows? But that's January 6th, still the holiday season, kind of.
Yep.
Remnants of the holiday season. Another event that we've been to before in our days is at the Carroll Arts Center in Westminster, Maryland. They do an annual event which they call a Charlie Brown Jazz Christmas. Now, Charlie Brown Christmas isn't a movie. It's a Christmas special, but it's better than any movie you could think of. It's excellent. And what they do is they show the special on a big movie screen. So first of all, it's one of the only chances you'll ever get to see this in a movie theater setting.
Right.
And they show the whole special. And then this band, the Eric Bird Trio, comes out, and they do about an hour-long concert. I'm mimicking cello strings here with my is what I'm saying. And they come out and play pretty much the whole soundtrack and a few other pieces.
Yep.
It's good.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say so.
No, it's enjoyable. The first time we went, I was expecting one of those deals where they played the music live.
Right, while you watched the show.
And so when that didn't happen, I was like, what's going on? And then they came out after the movie.
And they didn't introduce it, like the lights just go down. The cartoon starts, and we were expecting an orchestra and it was just the whole cartoon for 25 minutes, and then they came out. But then we saw it again. Did we go twice? I've been twice.
So.
Yeah.
I think so.
And then they come out and they do like a whole show. It's like about an hour, and they get the kids up and dancing, and they play all the songs, and it is good. And it's a little trio. I believe the Eric Bird teaches at the nearby college, and he has some friends with him, and they all play the music, and they have and then they raffle off a Charlie Brown Christmas tree somewhere in the middle.
So it's a cute, fun little thing to do.
Yeah, and it's only $13 and $10 for kids, so it's not as expensive as something like that would sound. So it's totally doable. That's going to be on Friday, December 15th, and Saturday, December 16th. There's 2 shows on the Saturday. That's at the Carroll Arts Center in Westminster, not too far outside of Baltimore, so check that out. Also nearby outside of Baltimore at the Appel Center for the Performing Arts, which is in York, Pennsylvania. They have 3 Christmas movies. Wonderful Life on November 25th at 4 and 7. December 1st, they're showing A Muppet Christmas Carol. Diana, if my memory serves correct, you have not seen that.
Still never seen it.
Now you need to watch that this year.
I know.
Be a good student of the arts and watch A Muppet Christmas Carol. It is phenomenal. That's going to be on December 1st, and then on December 16th and 17th, they're showing White Christmas. Everybody's showing White Christmas this year. Mm-hmm. And if you get to this theater early, like a half hour before, they have a guy that plays the Wurlitzer live, the old organ, and will play the music. This summer, I went to the Appel Center and saw the Muppet movie from 1979, and the guy on the Wurlitzer was playing Muppet songs, played like the theme song, and then music. Yeah, it was really cool. So, and then at the end, the Wurlitzer and the player go down into the stage. Wow. It's amazing. So that is the Appel Center for the Performing Arts in York, PA. Not too far out of Baltimore and right off of Route 83. I'm completely making this show just for Baltimore people, but who cares? But they're all good movies still, and we're talking about them. You guys see Muppet Christmas Carol. Now we go over to the Parkway, which is a newer theater in Baltimore.
It's a new old theater.
New old theater at 5 West North Avenue in downtown Baltimore. It's right around the corner from the Charles, which is a classic theater that everybody in Baltimore that listens to this show should know. And they are doing some... I was just there the other night for a screening of Clueless, and it's an old theater, but they built around it completely modern, and then the inside of it looks like the old Muppet Show theater, but the outside of it looks like a fancy Muppet Show theater.
The outside of it looks like a spaceship landed next to it.
And there's a bar, and they had really good popcorn and some fancy snacks. But anyway, they're doing 3 double features there. On November 20th, they're doing Home for the Holidays and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Home for the Holidays, 1995, with Holly Hunter and Robert Downey Jr.
I saw that in the theater.
So did I. And I remember not thinking much of it. And I watched it the other night. I fired it up on Amazon and got maybe 20 minutes into it and was like, I'm good.
It's got some moments, but yeah.
It's one of those, like, everything goes wrong at the holidays kind of films, but not slapsticky like
Right.
Christmas Vacation. It's more emotional. It's an emotional roller coaster. It was filmed in Baltimore.
Yep.
So a lot of it is recognizable, and they're at BWI.
Yep, she leaves from BWI and arrives at BWI.
Yes. Excellent. And also, when they get to BWI, they're doing the, I don't remember 1995 at the airport, but they're doing the white zone is for the immediate loading and unloading. They never did that at any airport anywhere recently. And then Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is a classic, a John Hughes adult film, if
Yes.
you will. And what's the thing with Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, if you know, like it ties in with two other John Hughes films, like Kevin Bacon from his character from She's Having a Baby, isn't it?
Oh,
Do you know any of this?
It's familiar, but I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Kevin Bacon's in it. He has a little cameo, and I think that whole scene is also in She's Having a Baby, but shot from the opposite perspective. So it's like, so Steve Martin steals the cab from whatever. You just go watch it, people,
Yeah.
and find out.
Just go watch
very angry at the audience tonight on this Christmas episode. December 4th, they're showing National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation paired with Trading Places. If they were doing Vacation and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles,
You'd be there.
I'd be there probably,
Yeah.
but
Not so much with the trading
not,
places.
yeah. Plus, I just watched it the other night.
Right.
So, and then December 11th, they're doing Scrooged from 1988. That's a big popular one. And Bad Santa, which I actually liked a lot. I thought that was
Yeah.
pretty good.
I
and
enjoyed that
just saw the newer one, Bad Santa 2, which was also pretty decent. So those are all showing at the Parkway. It's a really unique venue, and it's right next door to Joe Squared Pizza.
Yep.
So you can get some spaghetti and meatball pizza before the movie. So that's the Parkway. MDFilmFest.com is their website if you'd like to find out more information about that. Let's go up to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the Whitaker Center, which is like their science center. In fact, it is their science center. November 24th through December 9th, they are screening both the Polar Express 3D and A Christmas Carol 3D, the one with Jim Carrey. Have you seen either of those films?
I have not.
Well, people like those movies. So the Polar Express suffers from making a 90-minute movie out of a 24-page book.
Yeah.
So it has a lot of extemporaneous material, but it has some good songs, and people like it. And it would be cool to see it in 3D on the big screen. I think those are both in IMAX. So you can go to the whitakercenter.org for information. They're playing all, like, multiple times throughout those couple of weeks. So if you want to see the Polar Express, it's about a train. And A Christmas Carol, it's not about a train or someone named Carol. And then we go up to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, the Majestic. We've been there before.
Yep, I still have my 10-movie punch card or whatever.
Oh, yes. With what? One punch in it?
One punch.
One punch. One punch. Christmas Vacation is screening on New Year's Eve at the Majestic. And it is free. So it'll be crowded and probably noisy, but
It's free.
Christmas Vacation. And that's a fun, like, party movie. So you could go see that and have a good time with it if you want it. Majestic's a nice theater. That's another one with a big old screen. Well, it's a new screen, but it's an old theater. And then finally we're going way out. We're going outside of Baltimore, Richmond, Virginia. What is your estimate of time travel from
3 to 4 hours.
3 to 4 hours? But if you're in the Richmond, Virginia area, stop by the Bird Theater on Monday, December 18th and see our good friend Joanna Wilson present a screening of A Christmas Story. I actually have no idea if she's presenting it, but I assume she is. She'll be there at the Bird Theater in Richmond, Virginia on December 18th to see A Christmas Story on the big screen. It's weird more places aren't showing Christmas Story. Everyone's showing White Christmas and Trading Places seem to be the two biggies this year, and Christmas Vacation. Loves me some Christmas Vacation. You need to rewatch that.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Muppet Christmas Carol. Here's your homework. Muppet Christmas Carol, Christmas Vacation, Prancer, and Flipper. All right.
I can guarantee which of those is not going to get watched.
Flipper? You've already seen it, I know. It's all good. All right, so that is our summary of Christmas movies that you can see in the Baltimore, Washington, D.C., Harrisburg immediate vicinity. And if you live outside of this area, I hope you still joined us and enjoyed us on this trip around town at all the different movies. And I'm sure if you look deep enough, you'll find movies at your local art house, cinema, and other venues where films are screened and presented, right? All right. Hey, guys, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You know the drill. Rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, Spreaker, or any of your podcasting apps of your choice. We would certainly appreciate it. It helps people find the show, and that makes it all good. We're going to be back in 2018, maybe refocused, a little stronger, a little better, but I thank you for joining us in each and every episode of What's Your Favorite Movie. Diana, I enjoy and appreciate your company through these journeys through film magistry.
Thank you.
For someone who hosts a podcast, I have a very poor grasp of the English language. I make up words. I abort words halfway through. It's all good.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. I enjoy being here.
It's awesome. Good times. Folks out there in podcast land, thank you for joining us, and may you please have the happiest of holidays this holiday season. Until next time, it's Ed South saying it is khaki wishes and merry cookie dreams. Bye-bye.